Hi everyone, how are you? I'll record this, one of our weekly chats. So I try and do that fortnightly. And so if no one jumps onto the call, that's absolutely fine, right? I totally get it. Like tonight, normally it's 7:30, but I got back from work late, had to get the fam with their dinner because I wasn't very organised. So in the end, I pushed it back half an hour. So that may not have suited some of you. So anyway, um, so what I wanted to, well, I thought tonight what we could talk about was things that are affecting our self-talk, right? So thinking about the fact that they are just thoughts and we've got to be able to catch ourselves. So, but what happens is it's a very repetitive process, like a repetitive habit. So it'll be the same kinds of things that you always tell yourself, whether it be when you get up in the morning and you weigh yourself, which I highly recommend do not do. Do not weigh every morning. It's just not necessary, right? You don't need to. What's going to change overnight? Maybe you had a poo, maybe you lose 500 grams. I don't know, right? So don't. Like it's silly, right? So it might be a process, something that you do. You get up in the morning and you're getting dressed and you um, don't like the clothes that you've got to put on, or maybe you put on baggy clothes, or maybe there's something that sort of makes you feel not so happy. It might be that you were thinking about something that happened yesterday, right? So those thoughts are going to change your energy just like that. So say you wake up in the morning and you started thinking about something you saw on the news yesterday or last night, or something, a conversation that you had with someone, or maybe something that didn't happen, go so well the day before or the week before, or whatever, something reminded you. And then you'll notice that already your energy is heavy before you've even woken up, right? Before you've even gotten up. So same with grabbing Facebook in the morning. We're already letting the world in before we've done what we have to do, before we can compose ourselves, before we can plan our morning, our day. We've already let people's opinions in, their negativity, their drama. And it may not be negative, right? It may be that you just love having a bit of a laugh and you just, looking over posts and all that kind of stuff. But if you're doing that as soon as you get up, then you've kind of distracted yourself already and your energy is gone to that, right? So the thing with the thoughts is it is protecting your energy, right? So, we talk about the fact that feelings and thoughts and all that sort of stuff come together. Like you feel first and then you think it, or it's the other way around. You think it and you feel something after that. There's a couple of ways of, trains of thought out there on what happens. Um, Personally, I think the thought creates the feeling. However, instinctively, we feel before we even think. So, you know, who's to know really, chicken or egg? But the main thing is that thought that you have, whatever that is, it could be negative, it could be positive, will change your energy, right? And you have control over that. So if you are going down the rabbit hole with Facebook, or if you're going down the rabbit hole, maybe you've watched the news, right? And lately it's always a bit sad, it's hard to keep that energy going. Put the music on, put your radio on, even though you may hear the news a little bit. It's not the same as watching it continuously. And you might know someone through the pandemic that continually watched, the daily numbers of the pandemic, and just the fear in general, what that does to the mind, that just watching that sort of stuff, it's so negative and draining. And you'll know people that kind of got sucked into that whole fear bubble, right? So it's very negative, and it is driven by the fear of everybody, the angriness, the world, all that. So protecting your energy is super, super important if you want to have energy, right? We all want energy. Our currency is energy. So when we're thinking about our thoughts, like I said, they're very repetitive. It'll be the same sort of thing. It'll be when you're getting dressed, you don't like your tummy, you don't like your arms. It might be that you wear clothes that hide you because you don't want to be, you feel frumpy, or you feel, overweight or whatever it is that you don't like, right? You don't like your legs, you don't like your arms, so you won't wear something that's fitted or whatever it is. So you'll see like a pattern of the same thought processes, right? Especially, and this is where we're going to get into the eating thing, especially at night when people are bored, lonely, fatigued, upset, just hungry, hangry, whatever you like to call it. The emotional eating is definitely, that's all it is, right? It's coming from that, the triggers, which will be fatigue, angry, upset, sad, bored, lonely, right? Typically, that's what it is. It could be as practical as the fact that you didn't have any lunch, right? And so therefore, by the end of the day, you're just fatigued and you want sugar. Your brain wants sugar. Your body needs energy, right? So, your cravings are driven by your energy and your hormones, and it's going to get energy however it gets it, right? It doesn't care. If you have skipped meals, not eat until, say, 2 o'clock, you might not be hungry, but then by 8 o'clock, you're looking for chips in the pantry. Or the habit is, I sit on the couch, I turn the telly on, I need my chips, or I need chocolate, or whatever it is, right? Ice cream. So it's always triggered by something. So the deal with that is learning what the trigger is. So what is creating this pattern, and how can we disrupt the pattern, right? So, right, when I get home, I'm going to go for a quick, walk, or I'm going to go and jump in the shower, or I'm going to go and, go and hug my dog and my cat or whatever. Like it's about breaking the habit of there's two things. Fueling the habit, which is the things like going without food, skipping meals, just really not resting during the day either, not taking any time out, so you're absolutely exhausted by the time you get home and you can't be bothered cooking. Then you're looking for your takeaway, or you're looking for rubbish in the pantry, that kind of stuff. So there'll be that. Right, so I want to talk a little bit about that, because that is just a habit, and again, it can be tweaked, it can be swapped, it can be planned for, because most of these things, including your self-talk, it's very predictable, right? It's over and over and over and over. You know what's going to happen if you've not eaten till late, or say you didn't have your lunch and you get home and you're starving, you know that you're too tired to worry about dinner, for instance. So you probably are going to get takeaway. You probably are going to go and eat a packet of chips while you're sitting on the couch watching TV, because that's what you always do. So it is predictable. I think the biggest thing with the thoughts, and I love this saying, and if you've ever worked with me before, you'll know this saying, and that is, it's from Elizabeth Gilbert, who's a writer, and her saying is, you should pick your thoughts like you pick your clothes, right? So that means that being aware of them coming in and out and going, no, thank you. No, not today. I'm not listening to that shit today, right? No, you're wrong. I'm not listening. I'm ignoring you, right? And we talked about, maybe I didn't talk about with this group, but Henrietta, like mean Aunt Henrietta, or whatever you give her a name, give your inner voice, your inner bitch a name, right? She's going to be in there, right? Every time you're trying to eat healthy or exercise, or every time you're trying to do some kind of change that's going to improve your life and your world, she's going to tell you that, what's the point? Or I'm too tired, or and that's not, too tired can be a reason. I'm not saying you can't have a rest, right? I always say listen to your body, but she's going to be up there for trying to stop you from moving forward, however it is, because it might be uncomfortable for you to face the truth. It might be uncomfortable for you to talk to someone about the issues you're having. It might be uncomfortable for you to be honest with yourself. So in the end, our brains just want us to be safe. They don't want us to be jumping off cliffs accidentally. They don't want us to be chased by dinosaurs. Our brain was designed to keep us safe. It's going to be right. It wants to be right all the time. So, with our self-talk, we might have self-talk that's sort of saying, well, you're just fat, or you're just lazy, or you just, I'll never get it there. I'm always going to be this size, or I'm always going to be, you will know, because give me some examples. Give me some examples of what your brain is telling you, right? your brain will find the proof. So say you didn't follow through, say you quit something, say you you know, what a client might say, blew the diet, whatever. You know, whatever it is, right? Falling off the wagon, unmotivated. Your brain is going to go, I told you, see, I told you. I'm looking for proof. I'm looking for proof that I am right. You are lazy. You are this, you are that. Yes, you are overweight and you can't be bothered or whatever. I don't even like talking about weight, but it's just an example. Because it's it's one of our common things that we're working on most of the time. So you'll find that your brain doesn't care if you're happy, right? And being uncomfortable, even if it's just to push through something for a little bit, not that I recommend being uncomfortable for long, but if it's uncomfortable but it's going to serve a purpose for you, then maybe it's allowable, right? Maybe it's okay to get through that. And you might have to bypass Henrietta, the inner mean girl, and tell her that you're working on stuff, right? You're not interested. You're not hearing what she's saying. You don't want to know what her negative view is or, you know, her mean ass talk, right? You don't need to hear that again. So it's about being aware of those thoughts coming in and going, no, I'm not up to that, right? So you're not available for it anymore. It doesn't serve you. It is the loop that keeps you stuck, right? So for clients that I work with and have done in the past, that is the biggest issue they have, is that inner dialogue that's going to tell them, why bother? I failed this time, I failed last time. What's it going to make any difference? Who's going to care? That kind of thing. Now, that loop of that dialogue is the thing that's hurting her the most, hurting us the most, and I'm thinking of a client, hurting her the most. It's the thing that keeps her stuck in that loop and stops her from trying, right? And I don't recommend getting uncomfortable and going out of your comfort zone and rah, rah, rah. I don't recommend it like that. But I don't also I don't recommend you listen to your mean ass girl, if that makes sense, right? So again, these are tools. So when people are on the call, and I should have recorded the other ones for you, and I've recorded this one, and each week I'll record them so you can catch up and see what's talked about and see if it relates to you. But normally what we do is we talk about the struggle that they're having that week, or, you know, the thing that they're working on that week and what tweaks they can make and how they're going to get through, you know, what are they going to change? And that's the other thing I want to talk about when we're talking about change, and I posted this morning about this as well. Just because we're talking about change and vision and, you know, taking action, that taking action could be resting. It could be stopping all the bullshit, right? It could be taking the time out and giving you the space for you to stay calm and your nervous system to relax so that your digestive system works and your hormones and your cortisol comes down and the stresses come down, the overwhelm. It could be deciding that you're going to do something totally different. You're going to go and, you know, do Pilates or yoga, or you're going to go fishing, or you're going to, you know, go and join a pottery or a painting class. Like, change doesn't have to be whipping your ass into gear, right? Because that doesn't work. So find what it is that's going to inspire you, to help you tune into you, and maybe that means stopping, right? It doesn't mean you have to do more and push yourself into doing shit you don't want to do, like joining a gym or, do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do anything, right? So it's just about tuning into the thing that's going to make you feel something, feel happy, and tune back into you as to what you want. Like, I really want to learn paddleboarding, right? And every summer's come along and I've said, right, I'm going to learn paddleboarding, and I haven't done it. So I'm running out of weeks, but I'm going to do it because I want to be able to go off and do that anytime I want, right? So that's a goal for me. The other day I saw, I used to play a lot of softball. The other day I drove past and there's women playing softball. I thought, God, I would love to do that again. I would love to, because I just loved it. I played it forever, right? Since I was a little kid, right up into my 30s. I just think that's what we're missing, is that tuning in and going, what do I want? What do I want to enjoy again? What have I forgotten about? What do I love? Like I used to and maybe forced a little bit, but when I wanted to change something, I would go, I've tried lots of things. I'd go join a salsa group or a belly dancing class, or I did life drawing. I did a course of life drawing, so I like to draw. Like, it's about making space, not pushing you into a little box, if that makes sense. I want you to actually open up and give yourself that expansion and that space to start thinking about you. Because the biggest problem you've got with the overwhelm, the busyness, not taking care of yourself, the unwellness, extra weight gain that makes you, tired and sluggish, just not being fit in general, not sleeping well, all those things, they're getting in the way of the fun and the joy, and it does block your creativity, and it does block you thinking about what you would love to do, what you would want to do, because you're just surviving, right? We've all been there and still are. Surviving. We're getting by, we're thriving, we're doing the things we've got to do for our family or for our job or for our, home, whatever. And we are still going last. Now you get to this age and go, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to be last, right? And I think it's giving you that space. And it is a different perspective, a different outlook, and trusting that you've got this, you can do whatever you like. But we get in this pattern of not doing anything because it's just, we're tired. We're tired and we're probably a bit stuck, a bit confused. So it's not that you're unmotivated. I'm going off on a total tangent now, but I feel like this is where it needs to go anyway. It's not like you're unmotivated. What often I find, and even with me, I'm not unmotivated. I'll go and do the things I love to do, right, or I want to do. I think it's that habit of just going, oh, well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't have time, or, it's not important. It becomes a habit where it's no longer, like I used to play a lot of golf, for instance, right? I forgot about that the other day. I used to play a lot of golf, and for no reason, right? Because I wanted to. I used to go to the driving range with my friends. We'd go and play golf. We've always had fun with, at the time with my partner. Not this partner, a different partner, we play golf, but actually Jason's a really good golfer too, but we don't do it anymore, right? We used to go to the driving range together all the time and go and play golf. But again, for no reason, just because that was what we wanted to do, and we were single. Obviously, we didn't have children, but that's what I think we're missing, is we're not unmotivated. We're just uninspired. We're not following our desire. When that spark comes up and go, oh, I want to do that. I want to learn that. I want to learn macrame. There's so many things I want to learn, right? Because I used to do that as a kid too. Remember the macrame hangers? Used to do macrame. The potholder things, yeah? So it's giving you the space, not necessarily making you do more. More isn't the answer. In fact, less is the answer, always, right? Because without that, you can't feel anything. If you're just going from job to job to job to job to job to chore and pushing yourself through, it's not helpful for anything. It's not helpful for our health, our mindset, our energy, our libido suffers. We just forget that out and throw that out the window. And it's our fault. We're doing that, right? We're doing that ourselves. We're whipping ourselves into shape all the time, trying to force ourselves to do shit all the time. And we go last, and we have no joy and fun. Oh, I haven't. I don't feel like I'm having a lot of joy and fun. I feel like I'm just getting through my day at the moment. I'm doing good things, don't get me wrong, but it's not, I just think it's that spark we're missing where we go, oh, I'd love to do that. I'd love to learn how to paint or whatever you're choosing, right? It's mindfulness, it's being present. It's a different perspective on what you can do, what you're going to do for yourself, right? And that'll open up more doors. And hopefully my plan is, and this is what I always think, the more positives means less negatives, right? So if you're happier, feeling happier, you're going to be more motivated, right? You're going to be more inspired to do the things that you really want to do. That matters, right? That's the driving force, right? It's not the, I posted today about the vision and the plan and the doing of the plan, the steps. And yes, you've got to have that. You've got to have a bit of a mixture of structure and self-responsibility and accountability, and you've got to have a system in place that's going to work for you, for sure, right? Morning, night routines, good eating, exercise blocks where you're exercising. But that might mean that type of exercise might be dancing, might be roller skating, it might be catching up with a friend and going for a walk, might be bushwalking. It doesn't have to be in a way that you are not going to do it. You have to find a way to make it enjoyable so you will do it, right? I've got clients that have got pools, so they can do laps, they can do water walking, they can it's just making it work, and that's the answer to everything. It's making it fit, making it work. When it comes to, if I go back to just to finish off on the self-talk, right? We need some positive anchors, some positive affirmations, if you like, so that, because here's the thing, and this is what I've always said too, here's the thing. If you are constantly telling yourself that you're crap, you're I don't know, fat, ugly, overwhelmed, lazy, unlovable, whatever you're telling yourself, right, has a lot of power. And we tend to believe the negative, right? So even if you did have a great girlfriend over this side saying, that is bullshit, you are fucking gorgeous, you are so smart and clever, and, if you had that girlfriend, would you believe her? That's what I'm wondering. Like, I think we're quick to believe the shit, and we pass off on the truth of the matter, or that support that we have that keeps us upright. We need more of that. We need more of the good stuff, the women around us that are going to help us stand up tall, put that crown back on, dust yourself off, go, fuck it, I'm doing great. Like, really, I'm doing friggin' great. I'm doing the best I can right now. I'm learning how to do this shit. I'm learning how to take care of myself better. I'm doing what I can do, right? And to get off your back, like, get off your own back, right? Stop criticizing, stop judging. That's a whole new live altogether when we're talking about judgment and, really being harsh on yourself. But that's your self-talk too, right? Your self-talk is criticizing you, judging you, putting you down. It's not positive and uplifting, and it's not even arguing with it. It's not even arguing, going, well, that's bullshit. Where's this coming from? This will be coming from when you were like a teenager. It'll be coming from your parents. It's coming from something deep-seated that's been there for a very long time. It might be from a shitty relationship. It might be just from your confidence is low. For me, I haven't worked in an admin job for about 15 years. So recently I returned and I discovered that I must have been okay before, but I'm not too bad. My memory's a little crap, but I'm not too bad, right? So it builds your confidence up. So there's low confidence that comes from our own beliefs, other people's beliefs, other people's values system that isn't our values, right? And of course, as we grow older, our values change anyway. What's important to us is different. So there's a whole gamut of things that go under that. But that's the self-talk, is that it is that mean-ass stuff. But what if it was the other way around? What if you were filling your head with, I'm friggin' amazing, I'm gorgeous, I'm energetic, I'm vibrant, I'm like, why can't we do that? Why can't it be that, right? Write it every friggin' morning, write it down, write it on sticky notes, write it on the fridge, I had a girlfriend that used to write it on the mirror, and her kids would get up and see stuff. And I used to write stuff on my kids' mirror as well, right? She used to write stuff, really beautiful stuff about herself in lipstick on her mirror, right? So she'd get up and it would be in her bathroom. Why can't we retrain our brain to do that, to see that, to only see that? So if you had a little kid and all you did was barrage them with rubbish, which is what we've done to ourselves most of our life, with rubbish, and told them that they're shit, and told them that they're lazy, and told them that they can't do anything, and that they're ugly, or they're fat, or they're unlovable, or whatever, right? If you've taken a child and that's what you've done to it, it's not going to believe anything different. But what if you did the same thing and you told it all the powerful stuff, all the amazing things, and built that child's confidence up and told them how wonderful they were and that they can do anything they want and they're so capable and they're so beautiful and they've got such a beautiful heart? What if that's what we want, right? We don't have to believe the rubbish that's come from somewhere else, someone else's opinion. And it might be that you got bullied. Like I got bullied a lot at high school, a lot at primary school. Like it takes a lot to dust that shit off and go, it doesn't even matter, right? But it is ingrained. You get ingrained with that. And if you can recognize where that's coming from and that thought, so next time you hear yourself saying you're friggin' lazy, you're just lazy, you should be pushing yourself, should be, getting up and moving and getting all the stuff done. Where's that come from, right? Is it because you think you're not good enough? You're not achieving enough? You're a perfectionist and you need to have everything finished before the night's over? Where is it all coming from? So I want you to I'll finish up on this. I want you to be curious about your thoughts, right? See them for what they are. Do not believe everything that you think. Your thoughts are not you, right? Do not believe everything you think, right? They're not always true. So I want you to be able to at least, even if it's the only thing you learn from me and you've worked, even if it's, tonight, next week, whatever, you have to be able to see that, right? See it for what it is, watch it come in, observe it. There's a really great book called The Power of Now. Power of Now? Yes, Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle. And it's all about that. It's all about being able to see those thoughts and choose or ignore them, right? So it is an awareness. And if you're new to this game, personal development, or trying to work on your inner self, it might sound like really crazy and out there and woo-woo, but I can guarantee if you've worked with me for a while, you'll have heard me say it so many times. Or if you are hanging around, you're going to hear it a lot of times and it's going to sink in and you're going to get it, right? You're going to change your thinking. You won't listen to those thoughts. You won't believe those thoughts. Your values will be higher, your values will be clear, and your clarity will be, you won't be in that loop of just doing the same thing, hearing the same thing over and over and over. That's not letting you move forward, right? So that's what I wanted to say tonight about the self-talk. I know that's a massive video and there's a lot in it. And some might be relevant and some may not be relevant, right? Like I said, when we're in person and we're talking together, it's more about you, obviously, and it's talking about what you're struggling with, what you're doing and changing and tweaking and giving you ideas. Tonight it's just a hopefully a helpful video with some tools on how you can choose your thoughts like your clothes, decide to get rid of Henrietta, kick her to the curb. She's always going to be there, right? That's your ego, that's your fear mind, that's the person that's going to keep you safe. That's your brain saying that you don't need to do these things. You're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be humiliated. You're going to fail again. You're probably going to feel like an idiot. You're going to feel shit about yourself because that's what it's going to tell you, right? And you're not going to try. That's what happens, and it may not be relevant to some of the women in this group, but certainly has been relevant to clients that I've worked with in the past that can't beat, say, the emotional eating or can't beat the shitty self-talk, right? So it can be quite full on for some people, and other people it might be just that they need a little bit of awareness just to stop that, to catch it, to go, aha, I hear it, I hear it, I'm not going to fall for that shit, and I'm not listening today, right? Today, not today, right? Because if you don't protect your energy, you're going to let other people's negativity in and you're going to let your negativity in, right? And if you want to be strong, resilient, and almost unshakable, sure, it's there. The fear is always going to be there. Actually, Elizabeth Gilbert also talks about this as in like the self-talk and the fear, as in the backseat driver. So she uses that as an example in a lot of her books. As fear is the backseat driver, right? So it's always going to be there, always going to have its tube bob, it's always going to have something to say. Henrietta's always going to have a bitch at you for something, right? She's always going to say you're not good enough, or you're not doing this right, or you should be doing more. Whatever she's trying to tell you, she's in the background doing that all the time. So think of that as the backseat driver, and you can just keep driving. Just keep driving, ignore it, just keep going, and try and build up the positivity at the same time. More positives, less negatives, right? But without awareness, without being self-aware, and when I work with clients one-on-one, we work a lot on that as being self-aware, right? So you've got to be able to hear that shit, see it, and just not act on it and not let it affect your whole being, right? It's like if you got on the scales in the morning and it's, I've got lots of clients that I know, lots of women I know that will cry. They've jumped on the scales and they've cried, right? Because it's so disappointing. It's just a number and they're working on it, but they're listening to that horrible voice again, that horrible Henrietta that says, you're friggin' useless, right? You're fat, you're never going to get this, whatever. And I can guarantee you, the weight goes when you let go of that shit, when you let go of the pressure and you're not doing all that. The weight is a symptom of other things. So if weight loss is a goal, when you have the healthy habits and the foundations and the positivity and the happiness, you're more motivated to do that stuff. You're more motivated to cook nice meals, more motivated to go for a walk. It changes everything. We just want to release that pressure, right? Open up your world. Stop contracting. So if you have a thought that makes you feel awful, you already know that that's not for you, right? That's a thought that's got to go. That is not for you, right? We want to expand and open your heart, your mind, soften your body. None of this, like think about how that thought makes you feel. And you'll know it's shit, right? And you like I said, you stand on the scales and you might cry, or whatever it is that's bothering you right now, like those thoughts are the things that's going to keep you there, keep you stuck. So I hope that was helpful. I'm not even sure what I would title this video because I started off on one thing and ended up on many other tangents, right, as I often do. But I'm pretty sure that the conversation that I've talked about today, that's come about from some women that I've talked to this week, and it's not uncommon. I hear the same stuff over and over. So a lot of the training and the coaching is around tools, and it's repetitive stuff. It's not unusual. It's not new. Lots of women do the same thing. We have the same habits, but it's whether you can rise above that and look back and look down on that and go, right, I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. Any questions, let me know. If you want to work one-on-one, there's some offers happening at the moment. Just ask me how that would work. If you want one-on-one PT, that's certainly a possibility. I do that over Zoom as well, and health coaching over one-on-one. So it might be a series of calls we do, right? If you want to deal with one particular thing. Otherwise, jump on these calls. It's private, it's intimate, you get the help you need, right? And you can discuss it with, like I said, it's not like we're all different, we're all going through similar things or have been there, done that. We're expanding, we're growing, we're learning, we're sharing, and more importantly, we're tuning into ourselves and reconnecting into ourselves. So that's what's important here. So, any questions, let me know. Let me know how your week's going. Pop them in the group, of course, in the Boulder group. Happy to answer any questions you've got in that group. Just message, and we're there to support you. Yeah, we're there to support everybody. Next live will be Tuesday night for a workout, and I'll be introducing some morning ones too, I've decided. On the days I'm not working, I will do a morning one. I mean mid-morning. It won't be early morning. I don't do early morning. I don't do early morning, but I do night, and I'll come up with a day or a time when I'm not working for another one. For as far as a workout goes, I think. Unless you've got some feedback for me, love to hear it. If you need more of these calls, or what you would like to see in the group, what you would like me to talk about, what would you like? Because I can do live Facebook videos as well on any topic. Happy to chat about that on any of those as well. I'm just going to put a lot more energy into this group, right, and grow this group and see what we can achieve, right? And yeah, I think it's a really big deal to lead. We're leading ourselves and we're leading our generation. We're leading the next lot of women in their 50s and 40s and beyond, 60s, and we can do better. We can do better for ourselves. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. I will stop the recording now, and it's a shame no one came on tonight, but anyway, I'm hoping that this is helpful, and I'll post it into the group. Okay, see ya. Bye.